hand action. So right here, you're way off balance there. Your weight's way on your heels. You're sitting back way too much. You want to be pretty much centered. You don't feel that, but it's obvious to me your weight's way on your heels.
I used to jet forward on the
right,
swing.
which you probably will still do because your brain will seek balance. So if you're too much on your heels, your brain will try to get your weight evenly distributed, so you may end up, that's better. Now when I say narrow, there's all that floppiness. That's no good. And your hands are way too close to your body. When you play golf, you have to have width. Right. So the radius is just from the center of your chest to your hands. You need to maximize that. So you do what Mickelson does. He hits it all over the golf course because he's very narrow. Narrow meaning hands too close to the body. The wrists are too active at the top of the swing. You set the club way too early. You should almost feel like you're hitting it with no wrists.
Yep.
And so the club drops. Now it's real narrow coming in. The shaft's almost on your right shoulder, left shoulder, and then you come outside. So you go under the plane and then over the plane, which is what you've been doing for a while. So what you want to do is your hand should stay on plane, the club head should stay outside.
My hand's too far out there in the dress?
Yeah. So let's just take
Your hand should be dropping straight down.
flip him over so he's left-handed. So this guy's pretty much your build, Darren Clark. So what he'll do is keep the handle in on the shaft plane and the club head outside his hands. Now you do the opposite. So what you do is your hands go out, first move right there, they come out, club goes in. Now once the club goes under plane, it's all compensation because now your brain's trying to figure out how to get it back on plane. So now you're going to come lift and then over. So what he's going to do is keep the handle in on the takeaway, club head stays outside the hands, get it up to the top, a little wider position, hands are further away from the left shoulder, and then he's going to drop it in the plane. And when you can do that, you'll be more consistent. So the trick is, how do you do it? You got to practice it with feedback. So feedback is you have to have some sort of training aid. So you put a shaft here, you take it back to the outside of the shaft, and you drop it down on the inside of the shaft. And you do that without a ball 100 times a day, and you might have a chance. Maybe 50 times a day. Do that for 21 days, you got about 1,000 reps in correctly, and then you got a chance. Doesn't mean it'll even transfer. Just means you can do it.
So the first thing is get the wrists out of it completely.
Yeah, right.
And then
work on the takeaway so it's not going underneath so much and around. And yeah, so yeah, and then you stand up at impact, but you know that's okay. You can't do everything. So first order of business is learn the takeaway. The shaft points at the sternum.
right.
The left wrist angle is maintained as you take it away. You want to maximize both arms need to be maintained. The extension. You don't want to bend he bends his left elbow too quickly for my taste. What I would prefer is John Cook. So let's turn him left-handed. So what he's going to do is keep his right arm and his left arm extended for a longer period of time. That's a true one-piece takeaway. That's what I like.
Yeah.
That's my preference. And again, I love his swing because there's no variance. Watch how stable the club is.
Yeah.
Doesn't go back very far.
Yeah, that's a short in the backswing is something I tried.
Right.
But then I found myself rushing down.
Yep. That's the discipline thing. You got to work on transition where you just keep it smooth, the same speed you go back. As Bobby Jones once said, you can't take the club away too slow, and you can't change direction too slow. So this is on the perfect plane going back, and then he's going to drop it in the slot, and that's why he can make money.
Drop it in the slot means he just comes down before he
yeah, drop it in the slot means basically the club head travels on one plane. The hands travel on one plane. They travel on the shaft plane. So his hands are going to go up. They come off the plane, but they're still in the cone. And then they're just going to simply come right down. And it's a simple golf swing. Now, in your case, you're not far off, but unfortunately, it doesn't take much. So what you do is your hands come off plane. The first move, what you'll do is you'll move your hands away from your body right there, and then you'll bring the club in. So you initiate the swing with your hands, and then you'll get under the plane here. Then you'll lift it up. Pretty good position right there, except the club it's too narrow. The club's pointed over there and over there. And then your first move is with your hands right there. So your shoulders and upper body start the downswing. Club comes out away from your body. So it doesn't
start with what? Your hips?
Your hips, but again, you can't consciously think about it. You'd have to practice disassociating your upper and lower body. But you know, just think of bringing your hands down and not out. I mean, that's the simplest way I can think about it. But anyway, so your shoulders initiate the downswing. They unwind first. So instead of coming back in the cone, your hands are going to work out. Well, there goes my clubs. And then your hands work away from your body. Now, why do they work away? Simple. If you initiate the downswing of the shoulders, the hands work away. It's that simple.
So what do I initiate my downswing?
Well, the hips are always initiating the downswing, and you have to, you know, be able to disassociate the upper and lower body. Can you think about that in 1 second? Less than 1 second? No chance. So, what do you think about? Never think about how to swing. That sounds counterintuitive. Well, what do I think about? Take it away properly and let it happen. Now, do you practice working on bringing it down and in? Yeah, with that shaft that you stick in the ground. You do it over and over and over until you don't have to think about it. But if you go out on the golf course trying to swing and thinking about how to do it, you'll shoot 100 every time. So that's going to be part of your swing for a while. Can you play good with that swing? Yeah, you can play good. Path is only 20% of the algorithm. Face angle is 80%. So what does that mean? That means you better square the face every time to where you're trying to go. Does it help to be on plane? Does it help square the face if the club is coming down on the proper plane? Absolutely. Can you play with a club that comes over the top? Yeah, watch Craig Stadler. He won the 1982 Masters. He comes over every shot. Here's Craig Stadler. Does he play over the top golf? Yeah. Does Brendan DeYoung play over the top golf? Yeah. Did Bruce Litsky make a life of hitting it over the top? Yeah. So he goes out, he comes back on plane, nice takeaway, but he comes over. Now, can he play good from there? Yeah, because he doesn't come way over the top.
Right.
He just comes down a little over the top. So, again, face angle is 80% of direction. Control the face, you can play golf. How do you control the face? Hands equal club face. If you use your hands, you can't play. Don't use your hands.
Yeah, I like the John Cook.
Yeah, that swing, pretty simple, right? Keeps the arms extended.
All the way through.
I like this idea of connection. The upper arm of the right arm stays on the chest, the center of the body, and the end of the club move at the same rate of speed. The face stays square to the path. If you manipulate the club with your hands, good luck.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good swing. I mean, that's a good swing to copy. Really, it's pretty much simple. Yeah, Stadler, great swing to copy. There's not much going on there. Club goes back. Now he's big and strong. The upper body. He's an upper body player. Yeah.